What is a deer? Deer are hoofed mammals belonging to the family Cervidae. With over 50 species scattered across the globe, the deer family includes well-known members like the white-tailed deer of North America, the red deer of Europe, the reindeer or caribou of the far north, and the majestic elk. More exotic species like the tiny Pudús of South America and the robust sambar deer of Asia show just how versatile and varied these creatures can be. One of the most remarkable features of many deer species are their antlers. Antlers are grown and shed annually, a cycle influenced by daylight and hormones. In spring, antlers grow covered in velvet, a blood-rich skin supplying nutrients. By late summer, the velvet dries and is rubbed off. The hardened antlers are used during the rut. By winter's end, they drop off, and the cycle begins anew. Moose antlers can span over 6 feet across, while tiny muntjacs have short, spike-like antlers. This diversity in antler form helps us distinguish species and learn about their behavior and ecology. Although deer species differ in size, antler shape, and habitat, they share key traits. Most species, males at least, have antlers made of bone, shed and regrown every year. Their long, slender legs and specialized teeth suit a herbivorous diet. Some deer are tiny forest dwellers. Others roam open grasslands, while some thrive in cold climates. Compare this to differences you see even within a single continent. White-tailed deer prefer forest edges and farmland habitats, while mule deer in the American West favor arid landscapes and rugged terrain. The adaptability of the deer family is truly astonishing. Deer behavior depends heavily on species and habitat. Many are crepuscular, most active around dawn and dusk, venturing out to graze when it is safest. Forest-dwelling species like the roe deer in Europe spend much of their time in woodland cover, feeding on leaves, buds, and twigs. Larger, more open country species like the red deer may form large herds on grasslands, relying on group vigilance against predators. While white-tailed deer typically raise their tails to signal alarm, mule deer move with a distinctive bounding gait called stotting, and moose, the largest deer species, wade into wetlands to feed on aquatic plants. Each species has unique behavioral quirks. Some deer remain solitary or in small family groups most of the year, while others gather in vast migratory herds. Caribou in the Arctic are famous for their extensive seasonal migrations covering thousands of miles. Deer have conquered nearly every terrestrial habitat except the driest deserts and Antarctica. No surprise there. From the Arctic tundra, where caribou graze lichen, to the humid rainforests of Southeast Asia, where sambar deer thrive, and the North American woodlands that host white-tailed deer, they are true habitat generalists. Moose frequent marshes and boreal forests, while mule deer cling to rugged canyon lands in the American West. This wide distribution contrasts with some other herbivores. Many are restricted to certain ecosystems. Deer, with their flexible diets and migration behaviors, can live in dynamic environments. For instance, reindeer are the only deer species domesticated by humans, living alongside nomadic herders in the Arctic. In each locale, deer fill essential ecological roles, from seed dispersal to supporting predator populations. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons or the deers might just leap out of your screen. Chapter 2: Prey and Predators. All deer are herbivores, like I said before, but their diets vary widely depending on their environment. Most feed on grasses, shoots, fruits, and bark. White-tailed deer in temperate forests may gorge on acorns in autumn, nibble tender buds in spring, and rely on evergreen browse during winter. Moose specialize in aquatic plants, wading chest deep into ponds to strip leaves from water lilies or willow shoots. In tropical rainforests, smaller deer like the muntjacs or chevrotains graze on understory vegetation and fallen fruits. Unlike rodents or rabbits, deer rely on a multi-chambered stomach to break down tough plant material. Compared to livestock like cattle or sheep, deer are more flighty and less tolerant of disturbance. They typically don't form the massive herds that buffalo do, though caribou come close. And they are more agile in dense vegetation. Each herbivore fits its niche, but deer excel at browsing the middle layer of vegetation, exploiting forests and woodland edges. Deer face a variety of predators, and the specific threats vary by region and species. In North America, white-tailed deer watch out for coyotes, wolves, mountain lions, and bears. In Europe, red deer fear wolves and lynxes, while in Asia, tigers and leopards are formidable foes. The African Barbary stag must be wary of large carnivores like hyenas, while in the Arctic, caribou must avoid wolves and occasionally polar bears. Even smaller deer in tropical forests must be vigilant against big cats, large snakes, or even birds of prey that might target fawns. Predation risk influences deer behavior. Vigilance, herding, and habitat use all revolve around evading hungry hunters. While predators shape deer ecology, deer also shape predator populations. A healthy wolf pack, for instance, depends on the presence of abundant deer or elk. Deer have limited offensive weaponry. Their main defense is acute senses and swift escape. With large ears and sensitive noses, deer detect threats rather quickly. White-tailed deer often flag their tail, flashing the white underside as they bound away, warning others and confusing predators. Mule deer rely on their bounding leaps over terrain that might slow a pursuer. Moose can stand their ground, using powerful kicks or sweeping antlers to defend themselves. And male red deer may engage in fierce antler duels over territory and mates, though these confrontations are mostly for show. Each species has a defense strategies suited to its habitat and morphology. They don't have claws or sharp canines, but deer are far from defenseless.
Uh-oh. Stinky.
However, when deer populations soar, they can overbrowse vegetation, hindering forest regeneration and affecting other wildlife. In areas with too many deer, understory plants vanish, birds lose nesting cover, and wildflowers disappear. Balancing deer numbers via management is crucial to maintaining healthy ecosystems. Just as predators and habitat shape deer, deer shape their surroundings. This reciprocal relationship affects countless species, from songbirds to pollinators. Chapter 3: Human Interactions and Conservation Status. Humans and deer have a long intertwined history. For millennia, deer have served as a source of food, clothing, and tools. Ancient cave paintings depict deer hunts, medieval nobility stage elaborate stag hunts, and today, many cultures still prize venison. Deer appear in folklore, mythology, and religion worldwide. In modern times, human-deer interactions are more complex. As suburban areas expand, deer often wander into yards, nibbling ornamental plants or raiding vegetable gardens. And sometimes they even defecate on your lawn. Real quick, as I came home from a social event, I noticed something strange on my lawn. At first glance, it looked like a piece of chocolate candy someone had dropped. Being the curious person that I am, I took a picture of it. A quick Google image search finally revealed the ugly truth. It was a pile of deer scat. Needless to say, I will never mistake deer poop for candy again.
Oh, gross!
Now I have to figure out how to remove it without making a bigger mess. Anyways, some regions have growing deer populations due to fewer predators and the abundance of human-created edge habitats. Hunting remains a management tool in many places to keep deer populations in balance with their environment. While many people love seeing deer in the wild, others worry about crop damage, the spread of disease like Lyme, or vehicle collisions. Deer have adapted to navigate forests and fields, not roads. When startled by headlights and engine noise, They may freeze or bolt unpredictably. Their movement patterns often bring them across roads at dawn or dusk, peak driving times, when visibility is low. Additionally, suburban sprawl creates fragmented habitats and pushes deer to cross highways in search of food or mates. In the United States alone, some figures suggest around 1 to 2 million deer vehicle collisions occur each year, with the majority resulting in the death of the deer involved. However, human fatalities from deer vehicle collisions do happen. In the US, roughly 150 to 200 people die each year as a result of accidents involving deer and other large wildlife on the roads. Hunting is another major factor in deer mortality in regions where it is regulated for population management, from about 5 to 7 million deer taken nationwide each year, depending on the season, region, and specific species. Despite the high number of deer deaths, whether through hunting, vehicle collisions, or natural predation, most deer species are not in danger of global extinction and remain relatively stable or even abundant in many regions. Conservation measures such as regulated hunting seasons, habitat management, wildlife corridors, and public education on safe driving practices in deer-rich areas help maintain healthy populations. By restoring natural habitats, ensuring balanced predator-prey dynamics, and promoting informed land use planning, we can continue to support robust deer populations while minimizing the negative impacts on both wildlife and human communities. Chapter 4. Love and Family Life. Male deer typically attract mates during the breeding season by using their antlers, vocal calls, and scent markings to assert dominance and appeal to females. They may spar with other males, rub their antlers on trees, or emit distinctive calls like the bugle of an elk to demonstrate strength and territory control. Courtship often involves the male following and tending to a receptive female, applying nuzzling and other subtle displays to gain her acceptance. However, most deer species are not monogamous. Dominant males generally mate with multiple females, and once breeding is complete, the male usually departs, leaving the female to raise the offspring alone. So sad. Baby deer, often called fawns for species like white-tailed deer, or calves for larger deer like elk and moose, arrive into the world with spotted coats and the ability to stand and walk within their first day. For the initial 2 to 3 weeks, fawns remain hidden in tall grass or vegetation, nursing every few hours as the mother returns periodically. By around 3 to 4 weeks, they begin tasting solid foods, though they continue nursing for up to 8 to 10 weeks. Around 2 to 3 months of age, as they are weaned off milk, their spotted coats start to fade, and by 3 to 4 months, they become more active, capable foragers and less reliant on their mother's milk. As the young deer approach 6 months, they can run swiftly and navigate their environment more confidently. By about 1 year of age, many fawns or calves have gained enough strength, foraging skill, and survival know-how to survive independently. From this point, they transition into adolescence and eventually reach sexual maturity, usually between 1 to 2 years for many species, continuing the cycle of life by eventually reproducing and contributing to the next generation. Chapter 5. Fun Facts and More. Now, here are some fun facts about deer that you might not know about. 1. Antler regrowth. Deer antlers are among the fastest growing tissues in the animal kingdom. A bull elk can grow a full rack in just a few months. 2. Camouflaged fawns. White spotted fawns rely on their cryptic coloration and stillness to avoid predators. 3. Migratory champions. Some caribou herds migrate over 3,000 miles a year, one of the longest mammal migrations on Earth. Reindeer are closely associated with Santa and Christmas, largely because of their long history in winter folklore and their natural habitat in the northern regions, where snowy, festive imagery abounds. This connection took firm root in popular culture through the 1823 poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, which introduced Santa's flying reindeer team. Their majestic antlers, sturdy build, and ability to thrive in cold climates make them an ideal symbol of holiday spirit, evoking images of sleigh rides over snowy landscapes and the warmth of Christmas traditions. As a result, reindeer appear in countless illustrations, decorations, and stories, helping to cement their place as charming, whimsical icons of the holiday season. Such as a reindeer having a glowing red nose. Anyways, deer are extraordinary. From the smallest forest-dwelling Pudús to the towering moose, these creatures have inspired art, defined cultures, and posed challenging puzzles in ecology and conservation. They thrive in backyards and remote wilderness, adapt to climatic extremes, and shape the landscapes they inhabit. At the same time, the complexities of human-deer coexistence remind us that our actions ripple through ecosystems. There you have it. Now you know what deers are, what they do, how do they behave, and then some. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one, Lord willing. Take care, and have a Merry, Merry Christmas. But as always, to God be all the glory.